Hello. I wanted to just make a video about the process of integration. Um, when this part of me was first back presenting in the body, it was, I guess, um, hard to have the others not trusting me, coming at me, testing me, discussing me, um, and then progressively into a phase where they were trusting me and letting me help them to resolve their stuff. Conflicts, trauma, issues, stuff that, trust issues, and then progressively I moved to be able to experience not just co-consciousness, which is where I, as the core self, was still was present and able to experience them, but what I call co-presence, which is not the same as switching. It's sort of like you're still in the body, but then they're also in the body. It's almost like as if they're just to the side of you, and then sometimes you're just pushed out. It's like having two people present in the body alongside each other. And that was really strange, but the first time it was really jolting and jarring, like especially when they're experiencing extreme emotion like PTSD, and you're actually still co-present in the body, and they're there too, and your energy is just smashing and repelling and smashing and repelling. But it got to a point where each had gone through that, and I was still standing. And then they were able to start to share the lighter emotions and perspectives and their memories, and sort of hanging with me like a friend, but not just around me, starting to be within me. And so this was kind of like a semi-integrated state, and with the 8 of them, they weren't all there together, but I then experienced some co-presence with one and co-consciousness with another, and then that one would be co-present and then quickly switch. So I had co-presence with 2 at the same time, as if they were both kind of battling to stay in the body, and I was still in the body. So I guess the difference between what I call co-presence and co-consciousness is one is about being together in the mind, and the other is where you are still very physically, both energetically there. And then one of my 8, who's Pali, wanted to set up a toy box which had toys that represented every one of the 8, and she was playing out the relationships between them, who were the protectors, who were the the ones that were sacrificed, uh, the main ones that would be abused, who were the escape people who believed they had a different life. And through this, it created a wonderful dialogue. The others started to come back and dialogue through this. So where I have had this through art or journaling, uh, and through dreams, I now had this dialogue which was able to come out through Polly's chosen representatives, except that each of the 8 were now wanting to change the look of their representatives or change where they were in this box. Or and if one was having a trauma, I would take the toy that represented this one and just sit with it, and that person would become co-present with me, and I would experience what was going on for them. And after a lot of this process and what it disclosed, and the much better respectful relationships between each of them, and a really good trust of them with me, I then got to a point where I was experiencing not just flavors of each of them in me, which as the core self, they've come from me. So there is that sense of bits of them in me, even though outside of me they're like the full developed version of each of those. But what happened was I found that instead of being co-present, I was now having expression fully from each of them that didn't feel alien or other, and it was coming out from me and experienced as me. So instead of feeling I was becoming Polly, I felt I was I was feeling Polly-ish. Instead of becoming Addie, I was feeling Addie-ish. Instead of becoming Da, I was feeling Da-ish, and the expression from those that would normally be from those selves was naturally coming through me without me feeling like I was just a conduit for them. And I was really I don't know, moved, grateful, and sometimes dealing with mourning about that, and how it took so long to get to a place where my own lives were my life. So I am definitely not fully integrated, but I can say I have experienced now what integration will feel like. And so I wanted to share that and let people know that that when the core self fully accepts and loves and respects and listens to openly and values the purposes of everyone in their system, when integration begins to happen, it is true that I don't think anyone gets lost. And I'm really pleased about that, because I really care about all of them and really respect the lives and histories of all of them. And I also felt that I lived for caring about them. And I wasn't sure that I would find a place where I could say I just felt I felt that about myself as the core self, but I do feel both, and yeah, I guess if you don't have DID, maybe that all sounds strange, but if you do, then I hope that helps in the process. Thank you.